Welcome to One Take Only. I'm George Phillips, along with my friend John McClellan. And John, let's talk racing. First thing I want to talk about is Sunday's race.
Sounds great, George. First off, before we go, I want to tell you how much I appreciate being on your program. I've always enjoyed oilpressure.com and also some of the people that read oilpressure.com. They are some of the best fans. They've got some great insight, and it's just an enjoyable read. So thanks for thinking about me when you put
Well,
this
John,
together.
you've been there since the very beginning, and like I've said before, you're about the only other person in Nashville that follows racing as close as I do, or excuse me, IndyCar racing as closely as I do. So you're the natural fit. Plus, you're the talker.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good. I'm glad to be here.
But quite honestly, I found the race at Mid-Ohio on Sunday a tad bit boring. What do you think?
There were things that I did like about it. I liked that Ganassi won with Scott Dixon. I'm a Dixon fan, and it was great to see him. The most brilliant move, probably the only move in that whole race, was when at the restart he took first place back over from Franchitti and passed him. That
was a good move, and it was about the only move. I mean, there were some strategy moves, like when, and it was more luck than anything, when Hinchcliffe, he was punted by Tagliani, then he came into the pits on lap 21 a little early, and as it worked out, Saavedra went boom into the tires and worked out perfectly. So that was good. Of course, then the Ganassi pit work took over and put Dixon back out in front. But that was it. I mean, we pretty well wrapped up the race in a nutshell right there.
George, Ganassi hadn't missed a beat all year. He's been hot, except at Indianapolis. He was hotter than Penske, but that's really the only time that he really blinked was at Indianapolis, in my opinion. Now, with that being said, you brought up Hinchcliffe, and I thought Hinchcliffe did an excellent job, made a rookie mistake. I like that kid. I think he's going to be a great driver. He knows what he did yesterday. He's going to come around. Ryan Hunter-Reay, I wanted to talk about him.
Okay.
Ryan Hunter-Reay came in third, was the first car that wasn't a Ganassi car to hit the finish line. Ryan Hunter-Reay got him put on probation with Conway and tax. I think it's good that happened because Ryan Hunter-Reay, RHR, he needed somebody to get his attention because he's got talent and he can win, and he has won. And he's doing something really. He did something great yesterday with an Andretti car.
That's true, which not too many people have done this year.
Right.
Well, we say that, and two people have won an Andretti car.
Conway won.
Conway won, and Marco won.
Marco really won too. He beat Tony Kanaan, and that's saying something because I think Tony Kanaan is one of the best drivers around.
Yeah.
I think one of the best drivers in the world.
Well, look what he's done with KV. I mean, he's taken them to a joke, and I mean they were a joke. And he's turned them into a contender.
Do you think he's going to get re-signed by KV?
Yeah,
I do too.
I do too. But I really hope that Kanaan is the one that gives KV their first win instead of Sato. Nothing against Sato; he's made vast improvements over last year, but I think Kanaan is the reason why that team has excelled.
Whenever you see the before the race, Kanaan's always talking to Soto about what's going on, how to set up his car, or about the track, and that's a smart driver.
Now, would that be Sato?
Sato, I'm sorry. Sato, yes, of course. I'm sorry, Sato.
This is one take only. We don't edit things out.
There you go.
But yeah, I just feel like that he is deserving. He is the reason why that team is where it is right now. Strange thing, and I really had no intention of talking about KV right now, but don't you find it strange that Lotus may not even be with KV next year as an engine manufacturer, yet they've been carrying the sponsorship for the last 2 years?
You think something's going on with Cosworth and Lotus? What?
Well, Judd is actually going to be doing the Lotus engine, but I don't think there's time for a late entry for next season.
They have said, every time I've read something, they have said that there's plenty of time for Lotus to come on, here in September, which is really almost around the corner.
I know, but I still find it odd, though, that with their association over the last 2 years, that with them carrying the livery on all three cars this year, that good possibility that KB may go with either Chevy or Honda. But
well, that's too bad for Lotus, because I think Jimmy Vasser and Kevin Kalkoven, I think they've really put something together now with the addition of Tony Kanaan, and those cars have done real well.
And they're some of the best looking cars in the paddock too.
Well, you know, we like that number 82.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, Jimmy Clark.
But speaking of the new engines, the new car ran on Monday and Tuesday,
and they had the reigning Indianapolis 500 winner testing that car.
Yes, they did. Your thoughts on the car? I think you were a little more favorable about it than I was.
Yeah, I like the car. Now, I didn't get to see it in video. I've just seen the pictures. So, you know, seeing it race will be a completely different thing, of course. I can't wait to hear what they've got to say about it.
And what I can't wait to hear is the sound of the engine itself.
I saw that.
Because, you know,
V8,
V6.
V6 non-aspirated with a turbo on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm, because us old timers, we remember the sounds of the turbocharged V8, the Ford Cosworths. I mean,
Offenhauser.
Yeah, turbocharged Offies.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
sounded great, and
the turbos were just fantastic. Not only that, too, the turbine. I like those turbines. I want an Andy Granatelli back at the 500.
I was intrigued with the turbine. Well, Andy Granatelli's 88 years old.
I know, but I want a Andy Granatelli.
Oh, okay.
To come back.
But I did. I was intrigued with the turbines, but I'm not sure that we wanted to hear 33 of those.
No, I understand that. But that number 40 in 1967, that was so special. And what made it really cool was that A.J. Foyt won that race.
Yeah. At the expense of the turbine.
That's right. That's right.
And,
you know, hey.
But
A.J. Foyt, you know, that was his race. He stayed there and he won that thing, just like Dan Weldon won this past Indianapolis 500.
I was there in 60. Were you at the?
Yeah, I was at 67.
I was thinking you were. We didn't know each other then.
No, we didn't.
But,
I think we might have seen each other.
There's a chance. Maybe we bumped into each other in the infield near the snake pit.
There you go. You know, IMS is a very important part of. You know, it's a passion I have, and it's always been a part of my family, George, as you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, from my grandfather, who was working on the pit crew as an 18-year-old for Jules Gou, and
1913.
1913. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And
did he give him any of the 6 bottles of champagne?
I doubt it. He was like 18.
Okay.
Might have. We like to think he did, but I don't know. He didn't. But he was there, and you know, hey, he was also there in 1955 with the rest of my family. My mother was there. She was pregnant with me and my twin, so, you know, in the womb, I'm at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
So at the womb, in the womb, you saw Wookie race.
I didn't see nothing. I might have heard it.
Okay.
But, you know, but the spirit, I was there, and, you know, one of my top favorite drivers of all time, who's going to always be in my second row, inside position, it's Bill Vukovich.
Yeah, we'll actually agree on that, because I obviously put, and in this order, I put Foyt pole position, Al Unser, Rick Mears,
Okay.
Mears number 3, and I put Vukie at number 4.
I've got also Wilbur Shaw inside.
So you have 2 at number 4.
No. I'm sorry. Inside row 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in number 5. Wilbur Shaw.
Speaking, because we're short on time, but I did notice
okay.
when you say IMS, you're even proudly wearing it on your logo.
That's right.
On your shirt.
My dry fit shirt, too. I might.
See, that's not a good word with me.
For him. Folks, it's a beautiful shirt. I feel cool. It's out here in Nashville.
It's a polyester shirt.
Nashville. It's very warm and a little humid, don't you think?
Well, it's hard for me to tell because I'm wearing a natural fiber.
Well,
this shirt is cotton.
Well, I know that it's humid, but because I read the weather. But I can't tell it with this shirt on because it wicks the heat and perspiration right off my body.
There's no way.
And it keeps its good look. And not only that, too, it's a wonderful way for me to show everybody that I'm making a life a lifestyle statement because I am asked. I'm telling everybody.
Okay. I like,
and I got my cap on too.
Okay, I like that. I like the logo. The shirt. That's not a good look. First of all, it clings. It clean, and we're both in our 50s.
I'm not clinging on
that. Yeah, you're clean. It's not a good look.
And I'm in great shape for a 55-year-old.
Okay, and also, I mean, it's plastic. It's like wearing a laundry bag.
Boy, it feels
and
great.
there's no way you can tell me that you're not
George,
just dripping
I'm going to
wet.
tell you what. You know, the thing is that this shirt, when I'm walking around in it, people stop me and it gets fan made.
It's probably because they don't know what to say.
No, they enjoy it. They enjoy it. Anyway, we're going to...
A shirt needs to be a natural fiber, like cotton.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway's got another shirt that I will be getting before you too long, and it's that one with the wing and wheel.
Oh, no, that's terrible. There's no reason to do that, but we
we'll go somewhere else with that.
Okay.
Hey, let's get back to something else. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, before we sign off for our very first episode, or if episode is what you want to call it,
volume.
Got a good race coming up this weekend, I think, and I hope, at New Hampshire. Love the track at Loudon. They haven't raced there, and Bob Jenkins on Sunday said a decade. I'll take him at his word for it. Seems about right.
Are we going to get that northeastern bunch to come in and buy tickets?
You know, I think there is a market for open wheel racing up there, and but you know what intrigues me the most about this race coming up? Pippa. Pippa's going to be back in the car in this race. Her second IndyCar race. And of course, we were both there for her debut at Indianapolis. Did a great job, and I think she kind of went in under the radar. Maybe that was her goal, but she she fell back at the very first, but just progressively worked her way up. Every time I looked into turn, because my seats are up in turn 1, every time I looked up there, she was passing somebody. So. Pippa's one of my favorites. You know that.
Right. You like Pippa.
And
you like her team. You like everything about
that. Yeah. Well, I especially like the fact that now she's with Ray Hall Letterman.
I do too. I like Ray Hall.
I'm not a Conquest fan, but I like Ray Hall, and hopefully she can parlay this, and they can parlay this into a full-time gig.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. I hope so too. I've always liked Bobby Ray Hall. I like what he brings to the table. He's a winner. I like his son a lot, and. Speaking of that, you know, he had a accident yesterday with a young lady.
Yeah, and that was...
He wasn't very happy about that.
No, and I can't blame him.
I don't either. You know, that Danica, speaking of Danica, I like Danica. However, do you think that she's just, you know, with this NASCAR thing that
she's gone? She's mailing it in.
Yeah, she mailed it in.
Yeah,
and then she owed up to the fact that she's just an oval driver.
Yeah,
and it's like, you know, that's what I like about this series, is that you have got to be a very disciplined driver and be able to drive on the road courses, which there are some great road courses. Barber, I'm in love with Barber.
I know you are, and I am, and we were both down there.
Enjoyed it. It's beautiful.
This past year, I actually went down there for the test in '09 when they were just kind of feeling it out. But so I've been to both races down there. I love Barber because everybody laughs because it's quote unquote beautiful facility, but it is.
Hey, you know what I liked about it too, George, is that during a race, you know, you're afforded the opportunity to go around on a road course, to go around the different parts of the course and see the action there. It's tough to do that, I would think, at a street course.
I don't know. I've never been to a street course, and I'm not going to sound like I'm the road racing aficionado because Barber is the only road course I've been to. But it's a completely different atmosphere than an oval. It's a lot more laid back. I will say this: it's a little tough to know exactly what's going on. At least at Barber it is, but overall, I love Barber. I love going down there. Can't wait till next April. John, we're about out of time.
It sounds good.
You didn't turn your cell phone off, but and you're not going to answer it.
No, I'm not. I'm going to just turn it off right now.
But anyway, thank you for joining us for One Take Only. And that's exactly what it is. One take, mistakes included. And hopefully you'll tune in for the next one, whenever that may be. But for John McClellan, I'm George Phillips with OilPressure.com. Thanks, and we'll see you down the road.